This is week 19 of our 2019 adventure, and this week we are going to look at tips on how to break your bad habits for good. Hello and welcome. My name is Carrie Fox. I'm with Harmony Enterprises, and this show is all about breaking bad habits. You know, those nasty little habits that impede your enjoyment of your grand adventure? But first, let's start by reviewing the motto of Harmony Enterprises, which is, live in harmony with the infinite wisdom that dreamed you into being. And what that means is that when you are able to look at your life and the world from that point of view, you are also able to see how powerful you really are, including changing your habits. So let's start with a quick little overview of habits, and to recognize that there are habits that help keep you organized and motivated, habits that set you on a good course, habits that can help you achieve goals like becoming wealthy, and habits that can establish a path to being a successful entrepreneur. And along the way, you can develop some bad habits that actually prevent you from succeeding, from reaching your goals, and yes, even keep you in the poorhouse. And those are the habits we're focusing on today. Those habits that just might be interfering with your successfully creating your dream in 2019. So there are, so many bad habits. A few of them are using your phone, tablet, or computer in bed, thinking about toxic people, saying yes when you should be saying no, impulsively surfing the internet, multitasking, checking your phone during a conversation, gossiping, postponing personal health, wasting time, comparing yourself to others, thinking that you know the answers already, expecting perfection, and not keeping a promise to yourself or others. Obviously, that list can go on and on and on. But the problem is not so much the number of bad habits you have, but how those habits are affecting your life. How are they holding you down, negatively affecting your health, and preventing your grand adventure from being grand? So as the Yiddish proverb goes, bad habits are easier to abandon today than tomorrow. What that means is when you recognize a bad habit, that's the time to make the choice to eliminate it from your life. That's the time to say, okay, this habit has to go. So let's get to it and review the tips I have for you today to break bad habits for good. Tip number 1 is remember who you really are. This image shows the way most people think of themselves in relation to their spiritual self or to their higher self. The majority of their intentions, sensations, thoughts, behaviors, and habits are shown here in the yellow and are involved with everything about their physical bodies, the human beingness of themselves. What's happening to them? What are they doing? What challenges are they facing? And oh yes, by the way, they have a little spiritual connection, a small little soul pocket shown here in this white circle. But this image now on the right puts that into a more accurate perspective. That spirit, soul, universe, source, God, whatever words you like to use, that is so much bigger than our humanness. It is all that is. It is infinite. It is infinity. Therefore, it's only a small sliver of that energy that becomes us, the human part. Your human incarnation is that which infinite wisdom dreamed into being. So they created the cellular being, you, living on this planet. This is what I refer to as dual citizenship. The fact is that, yes, you are a 3D human being on the planet Earth. You are a citizen of Earth. But so much more importantly, you are an extension of the consciousness of the universe. You are a citizen of all that is. That is your dual citizenship, and it behooves you to remember that. Remember this is who you really are. Remember this in everything that you say and do, and your life will change dramatically. So let's think about this a moment. What happens when you forget about your dual citizenship and get locked up in the limited arena of just being a 3D human being, planet Earth? What happens is that fear, in all of its many forms, can take over your life. Fear that can make you cling to the strangest things. And a head full of fear has no space for dreams. But you can learn that fear is always a case of mistaken identity. So be fearless in your pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. And stay in alignment with your dual citizenship so that you can kick fear down the drain. So remember who you really are and create a new daily habit of connecting to your cosmic consciousness, that greater you citizenship. And there are many ways to do that. One of the most common is to deliberately spend time in nature, outside of all the buildings and vehicles and noise that you have in your life. Give your human body the gift of breathing the pure air created by the vegetation on the planet. Sense the energy and the rhythm of nature. Allow nature to become a channel for connection to infinite wisdom. The infinite wisdom that created this planet and created you. All of the pure energy of that, the pure awareness of that, can help you to be more connected to your dual citizenship, to open the door to your cosmic connection. And now another way people connect is to practice any form of meditation. If you are not already meditating, or if you have meditated but have allowed that blessing to slip away, then allow me to encourage you to develop or get back into a meditation practice, and then stick with it. Allow it to become a good habit in your life. Millions of people worldwide, from children to the elderly, meditate daily. For most people, early in the morning is the very best time because you are still in a calm, kind of a sleep hangover, in that the tensions and the challenges of the 3D world have not yet pounced upon you. There are hundreds of different ways to meditate, but if you're just starting out, I would like to suggest you search YouTube for 3-minute morning meditations. They are quick and easy, and they're a great place to start. There are guided meditations where a voice will walk you through the 3 minutes, or vibrational meditations that will have music or calming sounds to assist you in gaining calmness and clarity. And then, once you can shut out the noisy 3D world for 3 minutes, you can move up to 5 minutes or 10 minutes as you experience more clarity and the pure joy of developing this practice. You will discover why many, many people meditate for 30 minutes every single day. Several of the spiritual leaders on the planet at this time meditate for 4 hours a day, every single day. That is how they can maintain that precious connection and that serene way of looking and walking in the world. It's not only a glorious way to start your day, but as you learn to connect with cosmic consciousness, you will discover inspiration and guidance that's in complete alignment with your higher self and your higher purpose of being in this incarnation. And that connection to your dual citizenship fills you with hope and love and inspiration, leaving no room for fear and doubt and shame and guilt that are holding you back from achieving your dreams. So tip number 1 is to remember who you really are. Tip number 2 is recognize wasted time. Now, most every one of us has something in our life that is not what we want it to be, not what we thought it would be. And I think you'll discover after analyzing why that might be, you'll discover that at some place in your past, you chose to distract yourself from your dream with something like watching TV or getting lost on the internet or any of those other bad habits that I listed previously. I think you'll find that if you add up the hours in 1 week or 1 month that were wasted by those type of activities, something you just wasted time on, you might be able to equate how much closer you could be to making changes in your life circumstances that you're unhappy about. How your life might be different if you had used any of those hours instead to take one step closer to what you want. Maybe to update your resume, or to actually find out about a job that would light you up and would actually pay you more than you thought possible. What your higher self, your dual citizenship, has been trying to inspire you to do. Your cosmic consciousness knows that you came here not only for a grand and amazing adventure, but also that you had intentions for the things you wanted to do here, for things that you wanted to contribute. Wow, sorry about that. Maybe how you wanted to gift the world in some way, gift it with art or science or guidance, or maybe to help people remember who they are. I don't know what your purpose might be, but I guarantee you that you do. Your higher self knows you came for a reason or reasons and is just waiting for you to get back on track so you can continue on your grand adventure. So please stop wasting time. This I know to be true. The biggest culprit leading you down the wrong path is your ego. Well, what does that mean? What actually is your ego? Well, technically, the dictionary says that the ego is your personality or your sense of self. But let's face it, it's more commonly believed that ego is conceited and boastful and arrogant and pompous. That ego is when you're being a braggart. Now, I would like to encourage you to set those definitions aside for a moment and allow me to paint a different picture for you. And then maybe you will see what your ego has to do with wasting time. You see, your ego has become a trickster, pretending to be your inner voice. It has been trying to and fighting for and wanting to be the power over you by being your inner voice. But if you can recognize that the ego is really just like a frightened little child pretending to have some control over you, and the more you've allowed that to happen, the more frightened your ego has become. It's afraid of being found out or being exposed as an imposter. You see, it really likes the power it's had to make you do some pretty stupid things in your life, made you say things you wish you hadn't have said, and do things you wish you hadn't have done, including pushing you to waste time instead of accomplishing something. You see, if you were to gain the self-esteem and confidence that comes when you accomplish things, then the ego is afraid it will lose out. So, what can you do about this? Let me tell you. First is to recognize when the ego is influencing you and to make a choice that that's not in your best interest. And tune into your cosmic consciousness that knows the choice you should make to take you closer to your goal, your purpose, your dreams. So get outside into nature or meditate and create a love conversation with your ego. Let it know that everything's going to be all right, but that you want it to step down. Let it trust you that there's a better life waiting for you, and you both will be so much happier. Comfort the ego as you would a frightened child, and then take charge. Now, allow your cosmic consciousness that is urging you and inspiring you to do something that brings you joy and leads you towards your purpose so that you can laugh and enjoy childhood, so that you can share love with your fur family or blow bubbles on a summer day, so that you can play games with friends and enjoy the solitude of nature and to kick up your heels. All of this is experiencing life through a heart-centered, cosmic deeply connected way of being on the planet Earth. So to repeat, tip number 2 is to recognize wasted time. Recognize when your ego is interfering. Bottom line is to experience pure joy on your grand adventure, to shine your brightest. You can train yourself and create the habit of recognizing this, and then have that loving, gentle conversation with your ego as you step into the love and the joy of your grand adventure. I found this graphic from Life Hacks to help you gain a little bit of focus. The columns show what roles you play in your lifetime. This is for someone who is the breadwinner of the family, who is a father, and who is a husband. And then below that it says, what are the must-haves for each role? And then it breaks them down into days. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the breadwinner does this, the father does this, the husband does this. And on Tuesday, and on Thursday, and on Saturday and Sunday. I just found this to be a very intriguing little graph that I really like. And it helps you to make sure that you have priorities and that you're covering your must-haves in the roles you play in your life, here being the breadwinner, father, and husband. So when can you schedule your priorities for the different roles that you play? It's time. Take huge steps forward in creating the life that you want, prioritizing what you want, and recognizing bad habits that are interfering with having that life. And just stop wasting time. So let's look at tip number 3 here, and that's get excited about possibilities. When you recognize that there's something in your life that is not how you want it to be, let's say like not enough money, or that you are not where you thought you would be, like a career of your dreams, that can be the impetus to decide to do something about it. And you can do this no matter what your age. If you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, you have amazing and wonderful possibilities waiting for you to stop the bad habits that have been holding you back and holding you away from the life and the purpose and the joy you came here to experience. Take some time to consider, what do you want to change? And then think about why you want that change. The why is really important here. List everything that you can think of. These are your motivators, and they're going to keep you on track. Once you recognize habits that are not contributing to your happiness and success, you can reframe that habit into a habit with wonderful possibilities. When looking at the bad habits of eating junk food, reframe your awareness to what action will replace it. I will eat healthy. And be aware of the possibilities available to you when you are in better health, in better shape, because every human being is the author of his or her own health or disease. So how to do that again is to get motivated, move on it, and that creates momentum. And those 3 steps will keep you excited about possibilities. So this week 19 is the week to start looking at ways to break your bad habits, because nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Without a doubt, the most common lack that people complain to me about is a lack of money. So we're going to focus on that for a moment here. But we could be talking about any form of lack that you're experiencing. This graphic illustrates the habits of people who make and or accumulate money, and the habits of people who struggle with or have a lack of money. Over on the left-hand side, the habits of the rich tend to be what we can call good habits, like belief. They believe they can succeed. They have a plan. They've broken it down into steps to get there. They focus on solutions, not on problems. They understand that risk-taking creates opportunities, and they want more, and they know that they can do it. Where the habits of the poor on the right-hand side tend to be your bad habits. A lack of belief, allowing themselves to linger in the it can't be done pit. They have a lack of planning, no target, no steps. They find excuses for things that are wrong with their lives. They're waiting for some miracle like winning the lottery or an inheritance instead of taking action. And they blame others like the government or rules or their exes. But for you, you can change any bad habit because life is too short to stay stuck where you are, only to wonder, what if? Each day is a chance to move your life towards something more than it is now. Don't let inaction build up regret of wasted time, energy, and opportunities. Take inspiration from Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is an act, not a habit. So you can choose the habit of excellence. Sounds easy enough, huh? Here is one more really bad habit I wanted to expose today. Multitasking. If you do this, I really want you to consider stopping it. You can eliminate distractions that pull you into multitasking. You can do one thing at a time and not feel bad about it. You can retrain your brain to be here now. Turn off visual and audio distractions from any of your devices and commit to doing one thing at a time. Multitasking decreases your productivity, increases how long it takes to accomplish a single task, and you make up to 50% more errors when multitasking. So you can decide you're going to remain focused. The advice is simple. When doing something that requires thinking, don't do anything else. You will cover a lot more ground and you'll get a lot more done. You can even try structuring your day into half-hour chunks and work on something different about every half hour, or what I commonly do is every 2 hours. It's called task switching. And actually, it isn't all bad because it refreshes your mind. Many people deliberately switch tasks to kind of incubate a problem that they're stuck on. You know how you're working on something and you just can't get past it? Well, that's a great time to switch to a different task that you're going to put all of your attention on. And you know that you're only going to be doing that for a half hour, an hour, or 2 hours, whatever length of time you've chosen. No matter how much you dread working on something, it is, after all, only a certain length of time that you've decided to do. I love this little graphic. I think it says it pretty clearly. On the left-hand side, it says, when you monotask, one task at a time, focusing on one thing at a time, you can experience a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. That task gets done and you feel, hey, yeah, done, I did it. But when you multitask over on the right-hand side and pay a little bit of attention to several things, nothing gets really completed and you just feel frustrated and unaccomplished. Would that be unaccomplished or non-accomplished? Anyhow, tons of work. You did tons of work, but you really did nothing. You got nothing accomplished. So remember, you define what is important to you by what you dedicate your time to. You are in charge. So today's tips to break bad habits for good are: remember who you really are and your dual citizenship, both as a citizen of Earth and, more importantly, a citizen of cosmic consciousness. And that you came here for a grand adventure, so get on with it. And then recognize when you are wasting time. Not only did I talk about lots of things your ego talks you into doing instead of following your dream, but also there's the theory of regret at the end of life, about how does that saying go? That you'll regret what you did not get done anyway. The grand adventure that you intended to enjoy that didn't happen because of how much time you wasted. So don't let that be you in 2019. Get your dream going. Move towards it. It'll be amazing. And finally, get excited about possibilities. You decided to be amazing. Are you living that? And you decided to have an abundant life. Are you living that? Just imagine allowing your cosmic consciousness to inspire you, and then get on with it. And just to add a few more quick tips for you. That's my mind bell. I love it. A few more quick tips for you. 1, take it one day at a time, one habit at a time, baby steps. Set regular reminders, post-it notes, electronic notifications. That's what you just heard on my phone. And whatever will work for you. And remind yourself why you are doing it, to live the amazing, abundant, purposeful life that you came here to experience. Those images will raise your vibration and keep you moving forward. And remember to reward your successes. And then the universe will keep rewarding you also. So just a second, I want to shut my phone off from doing that. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's see here. What's next? Oh, more. Commit to recognizing your bad habits and find your hidden opportunities and restructure your lifestyle. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour through habits today. And if you would like a copy of my co-creation cheat sheet, you can use it as a quick little reminder to help you be aware of your view of the world. You can get a copy of it at tinyurl.com/co with a capital C dash creation reminder with a capital R. Again, https://tinyurl.com/co-creation reminder. So until next time, I'm Carrie Fox with Harmony Enterprises, reminding you to live in harmony with the infinite wisdom that dreamed you into being. Bye for now.